colleagues, distinguished guests. So welcome to our public forum here today on Australia's post-2020 emissions target. Welcome to the ANU, welcome to Crawford School, and traditionally we also say a welcome to country when we start public events such as these. So we do acknowledge and celebrate the first Australians on whose traditional lands we meet and pay our respects to the elders past and present of the Ngunnawal people. My name is Frank Jotzo. I'm the director of the Centre for Climate Economics and Policy, which is hosting today's event. I also direct the school's Resources, Environment and Development teaching program. Now, what we do at the centre is we provide a platform for research that is relevant to climate change economics and policy, and for that research to link up with the policy discourse and with the policy making process. And I think today is a really sort of exquisite example of that, of an opportunity where we can make those linkages in an area that is really of intense policy interest and, may I say, of intense political interest as well. And to my knowledge, this here is the first occasion where in a public forum there will be public speeches by the senior officials who are working on these issues and combining that with insights from analysts, commentators and researchers. So briefly what we do at the centre, we have a very active working paper series. Jump on the website, the present count is over 60 relevant working papers up there. And of course, you know, more broadly, this is what we do at Crawford School, the dialogue and providing a venue for informed discussion. Now, discussion, I know many of you in the audience are very directly involved in these kinds of debates. Really, we're looking for very active dialogue here today between our speakers and the audience. So we're going to keep the presentations very sharp and short, and we will have opportunity for panel discussions after each set of speakers. Now, great lineup of speakers, officials and experts on Australia's emissions targets, emissions reduction options, economics of climate policy, business perspectives, and international dimensions as well. So this is really sort of the creme de la creme of who you can have in Australia. And you will see that quite a few of our guests have actually come from Melbourne, and thanks very much for getting up early to be here with us today. Very briefly, by way of background, all countries have pledged or have been called on to submit a pledge for their intended nationally determined contributions to a future global climate agreement ahead of the Paris UN Climate Conference at the end of the year. The Australian government is currently in a process for deciding Australia's so-called INDC with a task force that is coordinated out of the Department of Prime Minister and Cabinet. Now you will see that on the program we start out with a session on the Australian government's position and process, followed by a session on INDC's options, comparisons, and the global carbon budget. We will then have a coffee break, move on to a discussion of emission reduction options, and then round out the afternoon with a panel on business and international perspectives. Quickly on housekeeping, we are recording this session for publication on the web. So just so you know when you're asking your questions, we will have a half-hour coffee break, okay? And I need you to be back promptly from that coffee break, okay? So a lot to get through, and we need to be back after that. Make it 25 minutes, okay? There will be networking opportunities, obviously, afterwards as well, and the owner of the Ivy Cafe here on the Crawford campus has agreed to keep the venue open until at least 6 or so there's opportunity to have a beer there afterwards. Okay.